Okay, dear student. So let us dive into the time series technique of forecasting. So time series में basically we have two tables. Table number one, okay, and then we have table number. Now let me first explain you that how this time series is going to be tested in your exam, and then how in between all these things I will explain you that how to use this technique. In your exam you would be given with these table number 1 and table number 2. What you have to do is that you have to explain all these columns, like column number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. These columns you have to explain to the examiner that what are these columns, right? And you would be done with your time series analysis. तो आए सर स्टार्ट करते हैं एक एक करके हम बात करते हैं कि बेसिकली कॉलम्स क्या हैं. तो सर कॉलम नंबर 1 ईयर, everyone knows we have this years 2021, 2022, 2023 and 2024. In column number A we have the year. In column number 2 we have quarters, first, second, third, fourth. 4 quarters in a year and we have 4 quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on and so forth till the end. Then we have sales unit. This we have sales in each quarters, right? We have the sales of each quarter given in the table number, column number C. Then what do we have? We have the moving quarter average. Now that's a tricky thing, right? Be focused. How the examiner has calculated this number? See, in exam this number is basically a key of this analysis. You have to figure out that how this number has been calculated and what is this number, and for this you have to do a hit and trial and you have to check it how this is calculated. So in this case this number is calculated as the average of the 5 quarters. Okay, yes, from this quarters, yes, this is for this columns, the all data is given to us to explain the average of the quarters, the moving average of the quarter. So now let us draft the in a sense that how we are going to draft this in the exam. Let's check it. Right. So see how I have drafted the two lines for this column A to D, because these are all same. See, there's no point of writing the column A separately, that this depicts the years, and then the quarter in column B, sales unit in C, and then moving average in quarter D, when we can write them all together in two lines in a combined form. See how I have drafted them. So I have mentioned in column A to D the moving quarter average, and now I have explained how the moving quarter average has been calculated, that I have figured out. Okay. Then for each quarter, now I have mentioned about the column B as well by writing the each quarter of the year. Column A also covered is given for the sales unit. Column C also covered, right? So this is how we have drafted our explanation for column A to D, and one by one we will write the explanation for all the columns, right? Okay, so let's move forward. Now let us focus that how this average trend in column E has been calculated. Think about it. So this 138.6, the average trend, this is calculated by dividing the moving quarter average by 5. Now why 5? Yes, if you remember that there we have calculated the moving average of the quarter by using the 5 quarters, right? So that is why we have divided it by 5 to find out the average trend. Alright. So are you guys going to tell me that if I am asking you to tell me about how this is calculated, how we will calculate it? Yes, we will divide this value by 5. And what if I tell you that in our scenario, in some other scenario, this moving quarter average is calculated by using 4 quarters? Then in average trend, you would divide the D by 5. No sir, we would divide it by 4. Okay, so this is how the average trend is calculated. Come, let us draft this about the column E. So alright, see how I have drafted it. Column E, the average trend is calculated by dividing the moving quarter average with 5, as the moving quarter average is being calculated by using 5 quarter sales unit. Easy enough. Let's move ahead. Now we have the column F, the variation. Now how we have calculated the variation, you have to find out. See here, this minus 4.6. What do you think? How it is being calculated? Yes, very smart. See, this is the difference between the average trend and the actual of these quarter, right? So 138.6 minus 134, this was the average, this is the actual. So column E minus column C. So you would get column F. Now check for another. Here, negative 8.4. 137.4 minus 129. Again, E minus C. You will get the column F. So now let us draft it. Alright, so now we have written that column F, it is the difference between the average trend and the actual sales unit of the quarter. यानी जिस भी क्वार्टर की हम बात कर रहे हैं वहां पर आप क्या करेंगे, इसका और इसका डिफरेंस ले लेंगे, then you will be getting the column F. Now let us move towards the variance analysis and let me clear it a bit. So for variance analysis or analysis of the variance, we have a seasonal, residual and the total column. Column G, H and I. So for this column or for this table, we have to look at this average variance column, right? And see how this is being calculated. And after covering this column or this table, we would come again at this. Now be very focused. See here we have quarter 1, 2, 3, 4 for 2021, 2022, 2023 and 2024. So in columns we have quarters, in rows we have years, and against each year we have the quarter average, right? This is coming from the variation. So the variation which you have calculated here, you will take it here. For this quarter 3 of 2021, see here 4.6. Quarter 4 of 2024, 8.4. Quarter 1 of 2021, 0. Okay. Quarter 2, quarter 3, and likewise the values are feeded in this table from the variation column for the each quarter of the each year. Okay. So now let us draft about the average variance table. Alright. So now we have written this column summarize the variance for each quarter of each year. But the table is not finished yet. There is something else in this table as well. Here we have the total. We have made a total of these all values. These all total 17.8, total 21.2, total -1, total 11.4 negative. And then we have found out the average of these all. Like for here we have 4 values, so we would do what we would do 17.8 divided by 4, 21 divided by 4, -1 divided by 3. Okay, so why it has given me 5? Okay, let me check it again. Wait, let me check it. Okay, so here we have a wrong average that should be 0.33 negative, right? And likewise here we have calculated the average and how it would be -5.7 divided by 3, and then we will get the average. Okay, so what are we going to do with this average? This average is going to be used in this table of season. Okay, see, for here for quarter 1 we have the average of, okay, let me clear it first. So for here for quarter 1 we have got the average of -5.9. So so in every quarter 1, let me make it clear. In every quarter 1 we have this -5.9. In quarter 1 -5.9. In this quarter 1 again -5.9, the average which we have. Again for quarter 2 we have the average of 7. So we will put here the quarter 2 7. Okay, quarter 2 7, quarter 2 7. Likewise we have quarter 3 -0.5. Let's forget about the calculation error. Here in quarter 3 we have minus 0.5, quarter 3 -0.5, quarter 3 -0.5, and then in last we have quarter 4 with the average of -5.7. So in every quarter 4 we have the -5.7, -5.7, -5.7, and -5.7, and here this again we have missed it, so -0.5 for the quarter 3. So which is what this total column shows. This total column is basically the variance, okay, the total variance for that quarter. Okay, and this column, the residual, that as the name says, this is basically the difference between the total and the seasonal. Like if you would minus I, you would H minus G from I, right? If you would minus G from I, you would get the residual. So that is how this table has been constructed. Okay, so let us write. First we have to complete our this paragraph that we have just tell about the that this column is summarizing the variance. No, this column, this table is also giving us the quarterly average, right? The average variance of each quarter. Okay, so the average variance for each quarter is calculated, and for the column G, H, and I, here we have, so the column I, the total, column I represent the total variance of the quarter, column G represent the average variance of the quarter, right? यहाँ पर क्या था हमारे पास, देखें क्वार्टर 1 में 3 तरह के वेरिएंसेस आ रहे थे, तो हमने क्या किया, उसका एवरेज ले लिया। इसी तरह क्वार्टर 2 में 4 तरह के वेरिएंस थे, वी हैव गॉट द एवरेज फॉर द क्वार्टर, राइट, एंड दिस एवरेज इज नाउ यूज्ड फॉर ऑल द क्वार्टर्स, so we are going to write it. So now we have covered the time series, and at the end of the time series, here is the catch, that how the time series is used and how it provides us the forecast about the for the seasonal businesses, right? So here we have written that column I represents, okay, column I represent the total variance of the quarter, okay, and the column G, it represents the average variance of the quarter, like we just discussed, which is used to calculate the residual variance, and this is the important part, which is not due to the season. See here, now come, and now you can understand that what was going in all this time series calculation. Here, see we have, let me clear all this. तो अब ज़रा गौर से देखें, जब हमने हर कॉलम को समझ लिया है, तो अब हम इस पोजीशन में आ गए कि अब हम समझ सकें कि भाई टाइम सीरीज़ हमें किस तरह हेल्प आउट कर रहा होता है। टाइम सीरीज़ बेसिकली आपको बता रहा होता है कि सर जो आपका वेरिएंस आया है ना, ये टोटल वेरिएंस, दिस वेरिएंस फॉर द क्वार्टर, इसमें से कितना ऐसा वेरिएंस था जो कि सीज़न की वजह से था। यानी कि आपका अगर बिजनेस सीजनल है, तो सीज़न के कुछ ऐसा टाइम होता होगा जिसमें वो बिल्कुल बूम पे होता है, पीक पे होता है। कुछ ऐसा टाइम होता है जो सीज़न बिल्कुल लो होता है, ठंडा होता है। तो सीज़न के दोनों इम्पैक्ट हो सकते हैं, एक अच्छा इम्पैक्ट हो सकता है, एक बुरा इम्पैक्ट हो सकता है। यानी ऑफ सीज़न दिस वेरिएंस इज शोइंग, नेगेटिव वेरिएंस इन द सीज़न इज शोइंग कि इतना जो आपका वेरिएंस आया ना, ये ऑफ सीज़न की वजह से है। ये जो आपका वेरिएंस आया है, ये ऑन सीज़न की वजह से आया है। बाकी का जो वेरिएंस है, द रेजिडुअल वेरिएंस, this is basically attributed to your own performance. So here if I would ask, भाई ये -4.6 ये टोटल वेरिएंस आया हुआ है, क्या वजह थी? मैं अगर अपनी सेल्स टीम से, मार्केटिंग टीम से पूछूं, तो वो कहेंगे सर इसमें से ये 0.5 जो है ना, ये सीजन का इम्पैक्ट है। बाकी का मैं कहूँगा बाकी वो तो तुम लोगों की कामचोरी है, तुम लोगों की निकम्मागिरी है ना, वो तो तुम्हारा कसूर है। सो यस, दिस इज बेसिकली देयर परफॉर्मेंस, द रेजिडुअल। ओके, सो अगर एक बार मैं इसको समराइज करूं तो सर हुआ क्या, हमने स्टार्ट किया पहले क्वार्टर की मूविंग एवरेज ली, फिर मूविंग एवरेज आ गई तो मैंने उसको मज़ीद एवरेज किया। मैंने कहा कि भाई ये तो मूविंग एवरेज थी, अब इसको ज़रा आप क्या करो, एवरेज ले लो। यानी कि ये मूविंग क्वार्टर, यानी कि 5 क्वार्टर में आपकी कितनी सेल्स हुई थी वो था, उस 5 का एवरेज आ गया। एवरेज से मैंने वेरिएशन निकाल ली इन दोनों का डिफरेंस लेकर, राइट, किन दोनों का, इन दोनों का डिफरेंस लेकर मैंने एवरेज निकाल ली। फिर इन तमाम एवरेजेस को मैं यूज़ करके यहाँ पहुँचा और मैंने हर एक क्वार्टर का एवरेज कैलकुलेट किया। ऑलराइट, सो दिस इज हाउ आई गॉट द एवरेज वेरिएंस, जो कि मेरे ओके, सो ये मेरे पास आ गया बेसिकली द एवरेज वेरिएंस विच इज़ कमिंग ड्यू टू आवर सीजन। ऑलराइट, और बाकी जो बच गया वो मेरा, मैंने कहा कि वो मेरा रेसिडुअल इम्पैक्ट है, और दैट इज़ द रेसिडुअल इम्पैक्ट जो कि आपकी अपनी परफॉर्मेंस को शो करता है। ऑलराइट, सो आई होप दैट आई वाज एबल टू एक्सप्लेन ऑल द एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ दिस forecasting technique. See you in the next lecture. Till then, take